So I apologize for the little bit of an angle that this is at, so there's no overhead lights that are showing. So I actually had to fire my assistant. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have an assistant. But if you recall, I said we were going to talk about the metals, and we never did that. And I completely forgot about it. So what happened is I mentioned I was in 10 states, etc. And then when I got back, I had that plague going around. So I completely forgot all about it. And then what happened is I have a notebook where as I'm reading and I'm studying, I write things down. And I open that to take notes on either the third book of Enoch or those other things that we're going to talk about. And I saw that we had never done the metals. So that's what this is. And so basically, we're looking to see if there's any sort of correlation that we can find scripturally with these different metals in different places in the Bible. So that's what this is. And this is probably going to just be 2 days of a video, but there's a lot going on here, and it's sort of color coded by the different metals, and then I have the different locations in the scripture. Now, I did go down a bit of a rabbit hole with this. There's a couple of things that I sort of was like, oh my gosh, I'm looking up these things. And so I'll tell you about those as we kind of go through this and explain this. But basically, these are the only places in scripture that I could find reference to these metals. And I think I have them all between Daniel, Ezekiel, Revelation, etc. So that's what we're looking for. Is there anything here that we can kind of tie together, etc.? So Nebuchadnezzar, so he has a dream. Now, we're not going to kind of retell that whole story for time purposes, but basically, you know that Daniel is going to interpret. And so there's the dream. So in the column on the left, I have sort of what Nebuchadnezzar is saying in his dream. There's a head of gold, the chest and arms are of silver, the belly and thighs are of bronze, the legs are of iron, the feet is of iron and clay. And then we know from Daniel 2, verse 35, it says that the iron, clay, the bronze, the silver, gold, they're all crushed together. And then we have Daniel's interpretation, and that is the middle column. So he tells Nebuchadnezzar that you are the head of gold, and the silver is another kingdom. The bronze is the third kingdom that will rule over the earth. And then the fourth kingdom is strong as iron, but will break and crush all the others. And then there is this divided kingdom, partly strong and partly fragile. Iron is strong, clay is fragile. Now, a little bit of a bunny trail that I'm on, but we're going to do this, is in verse 43 of Daniel 2. And so I'm just going to kind of read that so you have the full passage and not my abbreviated what I have written on the board. So Daniel 2 verse 43 says this: as you saw iron mixed with ceramic clay, they will mingle with the seed of men, but they will not adhere to one another, just as iron does not mix with clay. Holy moly, what a rabbit trail that can lead you on scripturally. Okay, so we are going to talk about that. I don't know when. See, this is what happens. I'm looking up things and I see these other things, and I literally have 1,000 things we could talk about. There's always something new, or like, oh, I forgot about that, or we've never talked about that. Okay, that is a whole rabbit trail that we should go down. Absolutely. Okay. Then it says in verse 44 of Daniel 2, this is what it says: and in the days of these kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to one another. The kingdom shall not be left to other people. It shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, as it shall stand forever. Okay, so we are at over 4:30. What I'm going to do then is tomorrow we will start with the column on the right in part 2. Armor up, we ride at dawn. May God bless you as always. Have a great day.